I was really scared about working hospice because I was like, I'm working with people that's dying or they're passing away. I don't know. I don't know how I'm going to feel about that. My name is Michelle Ranglin. I am 36 years old and I am from Miami, Florida. I graduated from FAM. It was December 15th, 2012. And the next day I came back home. Like I was ready to leave Tallahassee. I don't know what it was. I was just over it and I wanted to come back home. And then I started working for the Department of Children and Family as a case manager. I went through the whole training, passed the training, then I started off as a case manager. So I worked that while I was going to get my master's at FIU, because once I left FAM, I didn't have a job solidified. I didn't know what I was going to do. So I knew that I had to do something. So I applied for FIU master's program and then I got into the program. And then in the meantime, I started looking for a job and then I ended up getting a job through DCF. So I did DCF as a case manager till about 2019. I did like different positions. I graduated with my master's in 2014, but I continue on with DCF. But as I was in DCF as a case manager, I moved up to be a court liaison. I became a placement supervisor. I became, I guess, the lead of one of the units. So I just went ahead and did different things. During that time, around this, it was a buzzword going around in like 2018, 2019 or so, about passive income. It was just this word that kept going around. And at that time, I was like, I need to start something. So what I did was, while I was working at DCF, I figured out there was a loophole for me in reference to there was something missing. They needed more providers in a certain area. So I just went ahead and said, you know what, I'm just going to start my own business and learning what I applying what I learned in DCF, and I just applied it in my business. So now I run a company called Divine Oaks Family Services, where I provide therapeutic visits, supervised visits. Now I have a whole host of different things too, like therapy, parenting and those type of things. I have employees now. So that's basically what I did. I just took what I learned from DCF, found a loophole or find a need, and I was able to provide that service for that need. And then I was able to apply to start my business. So right now I am a hospice social worker. I transitioned because I had to leave DCF in order to continue on with my business. So I left the whole DCF field in the sense of working for them, and now I'm a provider for them. So now I work as a hospice social worker. Social work in the beginning, I won't say it is a money-making type of career in the beginning. So I would encourage anybody to, continue on and get your master's and get your license, because once you are able to get your master's, it levels you up to open you up to more different jobs. Because with social work, you could work with babies all the way up to the elderly populations. There's somewhere for you in every aspect. You could work with pregnant women, you could work with substance abuse, domestic violence, parenting, you could work in a hospital, nursing home. It's so much different ways that you could work in social work, but when you have a bachelor's, it really holds you back. So I will always encourage people to go forward with getting their master's. And then with getting my license, now I'm able to have my own business and I could do my own therapy sessions. I could do more complicated cases with insurance company and things like that. My current hospice job, I do not use my license. However, I absolutely love working hospice. It opened up. At first, I was really scared about working hospice because I was like, I'm working with people that's dying or they're passing away. I don't know. I don't know how I'm going to feel about that. But once I learned that my job is to make sure that I provide comfort care for the family, like I'm just that added support for them, and that making sure that they understand, like having their funeral arrangements, having like power of attorney, having guardianship, having all of those things in place to make sure that when the transition does happen for the patient, it makes the emotional side of it, they could handle that instead of worrying about, okay, what funeral home we have to go to, or who should we call to do for therapy, for bereavement therapy and stuff like that. So that's how I started I enjoy it much more now because I know that I'm helping a family as they go through one of the toughest time of their life, and I'm just able to be an added support for them. Emotionally, as a social worker, it is difficult. I always try to separate myself in reference to like I am a person and then I'm a social worker, second, because I don't want to be a social worker 24/7. Like I don't want to be a therapist 24/7. Like that's not how I want to live my life. I want to be able to disconnect myself from it because hearing a lot of people's stories, hearing about debts, hearing about people's struggles because everybody go through it, dealing with high mental health clients, it becomes a lot, but you have to also remember that the reason why you're doing is because you're helping. You're trying to make this person's life as better as you can with the job that you have. You have to do whatever it may be. So I try to separate myself from it a lot. Try to be around my family, try to do things that I enjoy doing. So emotionally, I would say it does take a toll, but you have to be able to separate yourself from the work and from your personal life. Any business that you have, you're not able to grow it as a one body person. Like you need a team in order to grow your business because that's how you get more referrals and you get more contacts and things like that. So I'm able to, thank God, I have good, loyal people who wants the extra income, but also really cares about their job. They're also social workers. I do have a licensed mental health clinician as well. So everybody that I do work with, they are also working in the social worker field. So it's more easier for them to adapt to whatever I'm asking them to do or whatever visit I'm asking them to do because they do it in their full-time job as well. I had to learn that sometimes what you think your prices may be too small or you might be going a little bit too high. There's other companies that are much higher than the price that you're giving. So you have to know your worth. For my private clients, because I do have a lot of clients that they're not with the agencies anymore, or they're not with a company anymore, and they're like private. And then sometimes I have to think about, okay, I need to have a scaling fee for those type of people as well, because sometimes they don't have the money that a bigger company will have compared to a smaller company. So I'll have to work out smaller contracts with them, but I'm not lowballing myself. I'm making sure that it still makes sense because I still have to pay my employees. But I also make sure that I'm not overpricing those particular clients that falls in the low budget or the sliding scale fee. And then you have your regular clients. That's, for me, I also work with family cases as well. Sometimes your price is your price, and if they can't afford your price, then they can move on to another provider. But what I have learned is that you should also find a niche within your business. So for me, I don't per se have a office where I do my visits. I go to the different locations. I either go to people's houses or I do my visits in the community at a park, a Chuck E. Cheese, wherever it's fun, that's kid friendly, a kid environment that I could also do. So a lot of parents appreciate that. And I'm really, when I do the visits, I'm not like this person that's like, hovering over the family and I kind of blend in with the family so people don't know, what their situation is. So you have to find a niche within your business so people could be like, oh, okay, well, I feel more comfortable around her, or she allows me to be with my children and it doesn't look like somebody is like watching over us. So that's how I'm able to negotiate my fees, and then also making sure that I'm meeting the quality of for my families. The one thing that I have learned from the majority of my patients is that you literally only have one life to live. Like the only thing that everybody is definite, every person that's living, breathing on this earth, the one thing that we all have in common is that we all have a debt date. We just don't know when is our debt date, but we all have one in common. And I feel that with all of my patients, they say live your life to the fullest, whatever that may be, with traveling, making sure that you don't hold grudges with people that you don't need to hold grudges with, to make sure that, you're, enjoying your family, enjoying the things that you want to do, not allowing a job to stop you from living life. If you want to eat that, eat that. If you want to do that, do that. So it's just all about literally living your life, because you only have one life to live. And I will also say is that it's very, very important now to take care of your body, being very mindful of the things that you put in your body. You should find your purpose in life, whatever it may be. Thank God that I was able to find my purpose in life, and I'm able to now water my purpose, like being a social worker, being able to start 3L Waist Beads and jewelry, and then also starting my tennis foundation. I feel like those are my three purposes in life right now, and it's something that I enjoy. That's the one thing. You need to find something that you enjoy and that you love, and it's not like you're doing it. Anything that you're doing in life, it shouldn't be for money, or you're doing it to please other people, or you're doing it for social media, or you're doing it to please your family, or whoever else it may be that you're trying to please. But you're genuinely trying to please yourself. Like when you close your eye, one of the things I do at night is when I close my eyes, I always ask myself, God, like, are you pleased with me, with the things that I have done today? Did I reach my goals that I'm trying to reach to? Did I, hit all the marks on trying to become a better person in all these avenues in my life? So I always want to go back and reflect on my day to make sure that I'm tapping into the things that I want to do in life. Your first mind, to me, your first mind is God. Your second mind is you. So if something keeps hitting you and say like, oh, I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to do this, and you see signs of it out of nowhere, or you may be talking to somebody and they just bring up something that you were talking about, and it's just like, how is that even coming up? That's like your intuition telling you to start what you need to start, or do what you say you're going to do for yourself. So I always say, find your purpose so that you're not continuously being lost in the world and trying to figure it out. And then once you find your purpose, water your purpose. Like, don't try to change up. Don't try to do something different. This is not working, so let me go find something else to do. Maybe you have to pivot in business. You do have to try to find new ideas in business, but your overall goal with your business, try to stick to that, because you know why you started it. You know what was the initiative for it. And then also just staying true to yourself and not allowing other people's opinions or what they think that your business should be or who you should be as a person to change what you want to do for yourself, because a lot of times outside opinions does play a large factor in how we move in our daily life. So you just be mindful of the people that surround you, being mindful of who you share your information with, and just finding a core group for yourself that really believes in the things that you want to do for your business and for yourself. Your daily steps will lead to your bigger picture. So every day, if you're not doing something to get to your bigger picture, then you're really not doing anything to get to your goal or your vision. So every day you should be working towards like whatever you want to do to get to that bigger picture.